programming channel. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of cloud computing. I received a few requests on the same topic, cloud computing. So I'm going to create number of videos on this topic. And just like the previous one, I called it crash course in cybersecurity. I'm going to call it crash course in cloud computing. You will get to know a lot of things. I'll try to provide you with a comprehensive introduction to cloud computing. In this video specifically, I'm going to cover its benefits, definitions, key concepts, etc. So let's get started. What exactly is cloud computing? Simply put, cloud computing is the delivery of computing services over the internet instead of relying on local servers or personal devices. Cloud computing enables users to access resources and applications remotely through the internet. There are different types of services that can be accessed through the internet using cloud computing. Um, let's understand the term cloud first. The term cloud is used to refer to the internet, right? So even when you are in your home, you are at home, you can use the internet to access information from different locations across the world, right? That's what cloud computing is. You don't have to store all data in your laptop because it will take up lots of space, right? So you can just store it on the cloud. Thus, cloud offers storage services. You can also use the tools on the internet instead of downloading them on your system. That's how cloud offers tools as well. And similarly, it offers services such as networking, software, servers, databases, etc. So you don't have to overburden your own system. You can use cloud services. Now that we understand the basic definition, and I hope that was clear, I tried to give you a very simple illustration. Let's explore the benefits of cloud computing first, and then I'll walk you through a few models of cloud computing. One of the key advantages is scalability. So, with cloud computing, you have the flexibility to scale your resources up or down based on your needs. If you have a system, sometimes your system stops working properly and you have to extend its RAM, right? If you're using cloud computing, scalability is the responsibility of the cloud provider, right? And you can also scale. So if you are not able to uh, work properly on your system and you need to scale the RAM, instead of buying the extra hardware, you can start using cloud services for the time being, right? So in a way you are also scaling your services, right? You're scaling the RAM or whatever you need from the cloud, right? So that's another very simple illustration. Okay. um, you can easily handle if you are using cloud, and it provides you with the facility to you know up or down your resources. This also means you can easily handle different traffic spikes. You can accommodate business growth. You can optimize resource allocation without any hassle. Another advantage is cost effectiveness. Cloud computing eliminates the need for heavy upfront investments in hardware and in infrastructure. Instead, you pay for the resources you use on a pay as you go basis. So it's not like you have to buy all the services on the cloud. You only need to buy what you need. Okay. And if let's say you need something for 10 days only, you can go for that, right? So it is pay as you go basis. This model not only reduces capital expenditure, but also ensures you're not stuck with underutilized resources. So it's not like you bought them, but you're not using them. Another advantage is on demand service. And it's actually a fundamental concept in cloud computing is on demand resource provisioning. With just a few clicks, you can instantly access a vast array of computing resources. You can access virtual machines, databases, storage, without the need for manual setup or lengthy, procurement processes. This agility enables rapid deployment of applications and services. Cloud computing offers various service models that cater to different needs. Let's explore three commonly used models. These are infrastructure as a service, also known as IaaS, platform as a service, PaaS, and software as a service, SaaS. Let's start with the first one, that is infrastructure as a service. So in this model, the cloud, not the cloud, cloud providers, they offer virtualized computing resources such as virtual machines, storage, networks. So they are providing infrastructure as a service to you. This gives user the flexibility to build and manage their own infrastructure while offloading the burden of physical hardware maintenance to the cloud provider. Let me give you a real-time example of infrastructure as a service. Let's say there is a company called ABC Corp, right? This company wants to deploy a new web application. Instead of purchasing and managing their own physical servers, they decide to leverage infrastructure as a service model from a cloud service provider. Now, there are many cloud services out there. Amazon offers AWS, Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, one of the services, right? So with IaaS, infrastructure as a service, ABC Corp, the company, can rent virtualized computing resources from the cloud provider. They can provision virtual machines with specific configuration, for example, like CPU, memory, and storage based on their applications requirements. So the cloud provider handles the underlying infrastructure. Cloud provider will manage the hardware, the storage, the networking, and all that. ABC Corp can only focus on managing the software stack and their application. So they can, in a way, they are scaling their infrastructure. Whenever they need, they can scale it up or down. They can add or remove virtual machines based on fluctuations in demand. If today they need more virtual machines, they can add more. Tomorrow maybe they don't need as many. They don't have to, so they can just remove those machines. So they have control over the operating system and software stack running on the virtual machines, allowing them to customize and manage their application environment. So in this scenario, infrastructure as a service, IaaS, provides the company ABC Corp with a flexible and scalable infrastructure without the need for upfront hardware investment or the burden of managing physical servers, right? They can focus on developing and deploying their application while relying on the cloud provider for the underlying infrastructure resources. They don't have to add their own physical servers, right? They can just use IaaS services. So the cloud provider is providing infrastructure in this case, right? Now moving on to platform as a service, PaaS. This model provides a platform for developers to build, test, and deploy applications. It offers a complete development environment, including operating systems, databases, development tools, etc. So developers can actually focus on writing code without worrying about infrastructure management. Let me give you the same example um, of how the same organization ABC Corp can use platform as a service for their web application, right? So suppose um, so earlier we did that they wanted to have more of infrastructure, right? Now, instead of opting for infrastructure as a service, where they manage the virtual machines themselves, ABC Corp decides to leverage platform as a service for their web application development and deployment. So they will choose cloud provider that offers a platform as a service solution, right? They can choose, there are many examples in the market. Google App Engine is one of the examples that offer, platform as a service. Now with PaaS, the company ABC Corp can focus on developing their application code and let the cloud provider handle the underlying infrastructure and runtime environment. So we're not just talking about the infrastructure, we're also talking about the platform on which the code will run, right? Here's how it works. They need development environment, right? They will use the PaaS providers, so cloud providers tools and frameworks to develop their web application. um, the platform as a service platform, so the cloud platform, may offer integrated development environments, right? Commonly known as IDEs. They will also provide software development kits known as SDKs and many other resources to streamline the development process. Then they also need something for deployment. Once the application is developed, ABC Corp can simply deploy their code to the cloud platform, that is PaaS. So this the PaaS provider, so for example, in this case, maybe Google App Engine, will manage the deployment process, including scaling and load balancing. So it will make it easier for ABC Corp to ensure their application is available and responsive to users. Speaking of runtime environment, the, the PaaS provider takes care of the underlying infrastructure, including servers, networking, and operating systems. ABC Corp doesn't have to worry about managing these aspects and can instead focus on the logic, the application logic and functionality of the code. If they want to scale it and they also want to maintain it, with PaaS, ABC Corp can take advantage of the platform's scalability features. The cloud provider automatically scales the application based on demand, ensuring that it can handle high traffic without manual intervention from ABC Corp. Additionally, the provider handles routine maintenance tasks. It can be patching the runtime environment or even managing the backups, right? So by utilizing platform as a service, ABC Corp can streamline their development and deployment processes. It will reduce the burden of infrastructure management. It will also allow them to focus on their core application logic and user experience. Now, cloud provider, in this case, PaaS, it provides a higher level of abstraction compared to, IaaS. So it making it, easier for companies to develop and deploy applications without the need for extensive infrastructure expertise, right? So if you ever come across a question where the higher level of abstraction is provided, now you can always say that PaaS provides a higher level of abstraction compared to IaaS. Okay. Now, lastly, we have SaaS, software as a service. And in this model, cloud providers deliver fully functional software applications over the internet. Users can access these applications through web browsers without the need for installation or maintenance. So they don't have to install the software application on their system. Instead, they can just use it on the cloud. And there are many popular examples of software as a service, including, CRM software, customer relationship management software, email services, productivity suites. Email services specifically, that is one of the best examples I can give you. Software as a service, right? Now, here's an example of how the same organization, ABC Corp, can use software as a service for their web application. Now, suppose ABC Corp decides to leverage software as a service for their web application needs. Instead of developing and managing the application themselves, they opt for a SaaS solution provided by a vendor. Now, this vendor can be anyone. Again, there are many cloud services out there specifically for software as a service. Google Workspace is one of the examples. Salesforce is another example. Okay. Now, here's how it works. ABC Corp subscribes to the SaaS services offering and their services and gains access to the web application through a web browser, or it can be a dedicated client application. right? The application will be hosted and managed by SaaS provider, right? ABC Corp can now create user accounts for their employees within the SaaS platform. This allows their employees to access the application with their unique credentials, and credentials meaning login password, and they can also use the provided features and functionalities, right? The cloud provider, SaaS platform in this case, will also provide configuration options to tailor the applications to ABC Corp's specific needs. They can set up workflows, permissions, and other settings to align with their business requirements. If there is a need for maintenance or upgrading the application, the SaaS provider is responsible for maintaining and upgrading the application. This also includes, applying different patches, ensuring security, and also introducing new features or improvements. ABC Corp does not have to worry about infrastructure maintenance or software updates. And the SaaS provider also handles the storage and backup of ABC Corp's application data. They ensure data security, they perform regular backups, provide mechanisms for data recovery, etc. Like for in case of any issue. And speaking of scalability and performance, the same cloud provider, the SaaS provider, will manage the underlying infrastructure required to support the application's scalability and performance. The company, ABC Corp, can rely on the SaaS provider to handle any spikes in user traffic or resource requirements. And by opting for SaaS, ABC Corp can actually access very quickly, quickly access and use the web application without the need for extensive development, maintenance, or infrastructure management. They can focus on utilizing the application's features to meet their business needs, while the cloud provider will take care of technical aspects, updates, and support. Um, so this service, SaaS, allows companies to leverage ready to use applications. It reduces the time, effort, and resources required to develop, deploy, and maintain software solutions. And that concludes our overview of cloud computing. Um, you've explored its definition, its benefits, and key concepts like scalability, cost effectiveness, on demand resource provisioning, and different cloud service models. One thing I wanted to point out, when we speak of cloud, right? It's very sounds very magical thing. See, cloud does not mean like the resources that you're accessing on the cloud are in the cloud, right? Like literally in the sky. The physical infrastructure of cloud is actually somewhere, right? So it is there in some in data centers, but uh, it is called cloud because users can access it from anywhere, right? Virtually from anywhere, right? That's why we call it a cloud service, right? And how it is different from other services, it's like whether you want to access a hardware, a software, any other service, you can always use cloud. So it provides that vast, range of services, right? And definitely, I mean, like it has in a way revolutionized the way businesses and individuals, consume and deliver computing resources. It is flexible, it provides cost savings, it has, there are diverse service models, and all of it, like all of this, it makes it an integral part of modern technology, right? I hope this video has provided you with a solid understanding of cloud computing. If you still have any questions or would like to explore more cloud related topics, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new to our channel for more exciting content. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Till then, take care.